Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. This reading is to answer a viewer question, which is really interesting. So the question is, what is John Trump's worst fear? And if life is a school and we're all learning lessons, yes, I agree, that's true. What is he learning? What are his first, second, and third lessons, if he ever gets to 3? So, his worst fear. Okay. And top 3 lessons for this lifetime. Okay, and I am most likely going to, actually I will, I'm going to layer it with the Lenormand to, let's get some more clarity here. Okay, so for his fears, greatest fears. This is really interesting. And actually, maybe I can just fit something else in the middle there. Well, I'll figure that out in a little bit. So let's see, with first, second, and third lessons. Wow, that's interesting how those go together. And these, wow, okay. All right, so when it comes to fears, his worst fear, I would say, is to be completely successful. He has a tremendous fear of failure. Because the World card is all about completion and success. Maybe he just doesn't want to be done. Because he does have this, you know, he has this negative pleasure in chaos. And always having things going on. There's a fear of him completing some cycle in his life. And to move to like a higher level of consciousness. So it's like he holds himself back. That's really, really interesting. And of course it has to do with his prosperity. It's like a fear of being like truly wealthy on the inner levels, I think. That is so interesting. I would have never guessed that. You know, I would have guessed if it would have been just you asking my brain, my pea brain, I would say, you know, it has a fear of being humiliated. You know, has a fear of not being in control, things like that. But these cards tell a very different story. This is a real fear of absolute success and you know, true abundance. Now, with the Ten of Cups reversed, there's also like, so this top 3, you know, fears here. There's this fear of not having family. Wow. So it's like this dependency dynamic. Well, that might make sense with, you know, his some aspects that I know in his natal, you know, astrological chart. But this feels like a familiar place of broken relationships. You know, like wasted family fortune. So there is fear about that. And this could have to do with the letter card. This could definitely have to do with, legal documents that'll be coming down on him, as far as, IRS and bank fraud, things like that, tax evasion and bank fraud, and insurance fraud. So he is afraid of losing everything that him and his grifter family has gained. He is afraid of that. And he might be afraid of Letitia James. And then on this other weird level, he's afraid of his loyal followers maybe turning on him. Wow. That is so interesting. I'm going to do something really weird here. I shuffled the Kipper deck. So I'm just going to put 2 Kipper cards here in the middle to get more. So more into fears and lessons. Right here, fears and lessons. Okay. Fear. Yeah, he's afraid of going to court. And lesson. I guess the spiritual journey. His lesson is, his lesson is going to continue because he hasn't completed it. But because this fear of success, so he's going to have to go back and revisit it. Then let's get into his if these are the lessons. So this is the Dark Night of the Soul card. The 9 of Swords is the Dark Night of the Soul. So he has lessons in depression, failure. That coincides here with that fear of success. So going through failures, going through depressions, insomnia, this like nightmare of his own self-created prison. And then also to slow down, because the 8 of Wands moves really quickly. And all this like sudden change. So if this is his first, second, and third lesson, the first lesson is to go through, he needs to go through that dark night of the soul to find his peaceful, place inside. I don't know that he's going to do that in this lifetime, honestly. And then his second lesson would be to slow down and to not spread lies and gossip. And that lesson may come in very shocking ways to him, for him. Both of these cards, they move really quickly. This is sudden. This is sudden. This can be air travel. This can be air travel. But I just feel like it's the lesson. Because we have to remember, he has Sun conjunct Uranus in Gemini in the 10th house of reputation. So, and what he's done with that before is he's, in this lifetime at least, I don't know his past lifetime, but this lifetime he has spread lies and gossips, and he's always been the guy that would say shocking things. And he... so this is his lesson, is to not do that, to not be divisive and not be shocking, and to not try and stir things up, and to not try to create chaos all the time. His first lesson is to find peace within, but he's got to do that inner work. He's got to get through that dark night of the soul before that can ever happen. He's got to process all these nightmares he's created in his life. and in the lives of others, which is on him. You know, that's on him. That's why this card is here. This is this could be the card of man-made law and spiritual law. And this is his soul journey. I know for sure that's what this is about. Now, when it comes to his third lesson, this, to me, is the card of a person's self-created prison. And he's stuck there. So I don't know if he ever will get to 3, because there's an obstacle here between 1 and 2. Like 1 and 2 have to happen. And he can only free himself out of this self-created prison. I mean, this is a literal restriction in his life. This is him restricting himself. This is him isolating himself. This is him feeling trapped and hopeless and powerless. And this is him in his victim consciousness. He always plays the victim. Always plays the victim card. That's just his MO. And that would be the third lesson. But man, you don't get out of that. I mean, there's beauty in this. You don't get out of victim consciousness without having gone through your own dark night of the soul and taking self-responsibility. So, well, this was interesting. I don't know what else to say. But I'll leave it open to you guys if you have any comments. Just remember, these 3 cards were his worst fears. These 6 cards, his worst fears. Oh goodness, I have a whole tarot deck falling over here. And then these 3 cards are his first, second, and third lessons. And these I drew just for fun. Yeah, wow. Okay, well, this deck is falling over. I'm going to grab it. Okay, so that's it. I'm done with this one, and I'm going to move on and answer another question. Okay, thanks you guys. Take care.